This is Heretic, and this is the Azurite Guide, Part 1, Mining and Buying Azurite Efficiently. In this guide, I'm going to go over the Azurite mine and how much you can generate per week without spending it all, spending just a little to get the buffs, and then if you're going to buy Azurite packs, which ones you should get and which ones you should avoid. But before we get started, if you're a fan of War and Order, you are in the right place. I release between 3 and 5 videos a week just like this, so if you could hit that like button for me and subscribe if you haven't already, it will help out a ton. Also leave some feedback, whether it's, a hey, what's up, a comment about Azurite, or a question about what we go over in the video. It's greatly appreciated. I'll leave my contact information in the video, and it's always great to talk to you about the game. I'm constantly learning and growing, and it's because of all of you that support me and this channel, so thank you. All right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So there's a little bit to go through here, so I'm gonna try to go slow, but there's a bit to go through. So you get your Azurite mine at castle level 30. It will cost quite a bit of resources just to open it up, to enable it. But once you do, and it's very important that you do right when you get to castle level 30, because all your buildings above level 30 will require Azurite, and as you go up, it will go up significantly. The requirements will go up significantly. In part 2 of this video, we'll actually go into all those requirements, but I'm not going to do that here. I'm going to focus on ways for you to increase your production of Azurite without spending or spending a little, right? To do it efficiently. So your base Azurite production is 8 per hour, all right? And the capacity is 80. So that means if you open up the mine, you don't do anything else, you don't have any types of buffs or anything on it, you're going to get 1,344 Azurite per week without doing anything else, right? If you're not letting the mine capacity reach 80. If it reaches 80, it stops producing, so you need to collect it at least once every 10 hours, right? So 1,344 per week for just the mine. The next thing. All right, next. If you kill level 26 and above monsters on the map, you can get these summoning scrolls. If you get 10 of these scrolls, you can summon a monster. You kill it. It's pretty easy to kill. You'll get a chest, and those chests average about 100 Azurite per chest. Sometimes it'll be 80, sometimes it'll be 140. For me, the average is around 100. So, the average person should be able to kill enough per day to actually get one scroll. Most smart people who have actually, or people that have actually played the game or watched a video and learned how to do it, they'll save all of the stamina potions, especially after 20. Any stamina potions that you get, and there's a lot of tricks for getting more of those, like using the merchant ship, and you can refresh and trade in your some of your resources and everything else to buy more and more of those stamina potions. The hot deals on weekends, you can actually use some gems to buy some of the stamina that way as well, those potions. So a lot of people save those up till they get to 30, or they get high enough. You don't have to be 30, high enough where you can actually kill those 26 monsters pretty regularly, pretty easily, and then they'll run their auto attacks during Strongest Lord and and just every day maybe, just to get to start early, so that they can get as much Azurite as possible without wasting stamina. So keep in mind, you can get 50 scrolls per day. That's usually not a problem unless you have a ton of stamina potions and you're just running it all the time. Another thing, And I haven't touched on this before, but stamina buffing and equipment that you can use to actually increase the amount of stamina production is really important. So a lot of people will run, a B skill, equipment, achievements to increase the amount of stamina production that you have per day for this very reason too. Because the more stamina you have, the more monsters you can kill, the more of the summoning scrolls you get, the more chests you get, the more Azurite you get. Azurite's the most important resource once you get to level 30. All right, again, so that's one way. So, the average person, if you kill enough to get one, completed scroll, in the chest, you would get about 100 Azurite per day. Times 7, there's 700 more Azurite per week, added to the 1344 that you get, by the base, just by collecting from the mine itself. There, you're at 2,044 Azurite per week with those two things. Another thing you can do, and I just did it, is you can do the Royal Challenge on the ruins, right? So if you hit that ruins Royal Challenge, you can do it once per day. I'm only getting to wave 3 here on this character, and I get 75 Azurite per day. So that's another 525 per week that I can get. So without spending a penny, without doing anything extra, I can get 2,569 Azurite per week. That's around 10,000 a month. All right, that's not bad. But you'll see it will take you quite a while to go with that 10,000 a month to get maybe like castle level 34 or something. 31's pretty easy. 32, it just starts doubling the amount of Azurite that you need. But again, we'll go over that in another guide. So, okay. So there's 2 ways to get it. So what else can you do to actually increase the amount of Azurite that you get? So one thing that you can do, and it's the easiest, is you can go here and you click the mine itself, and to the left of details, you get this little buff. So this buff costs 450 gems per day, but it gives you 50% production. So that's another 4 that you could get per week. So that would be another 672 to your weekly total. So, it's starting to add up, right? So if you have gems, you can get gems pretty easily. Keeping that mine boosted will enable you to get another 672 per week. All right, so what other things can you do? All right, so if you have VIP 9, if you're lower than 9, you look 7, 6, 5. All of these give buffs, but I'm at 9, so I think that's for lower 30s. That's 9's probably an achievable thing without spending. So I get 45% resource output boost, which applies to Azurite. So that gives me another, if I add up what I get here to that base of 1344, it gets me up to 1,948.8 Azurite per week. So that's another 604.8 Azurite per week just by having an activated VIP 9. So stay activated. All right, so the next thing, if you look in your emblems, and I'm sure that there's other ways to increase this resource output, but if you look here, you have something called the Faith emblem. On this emblem, I'm only at level 5. At level 5, I'm actually getting 5% resource output. So at level 6, I will get 6.1%, which would actually add, and now we're starting to get up there, right? You do the Azurite Mine Boost, you have, level 6, a Faith Emblem, you have VIP 9, and all of these are very possible really without spending. really. And now you're up to another 3,900 and, total 3,928 Azurite per week. So now you're getting up there to the point where, you're going to be able to actually grow your castle at a, decent clip. All right. So next, now we're going to go into spending a little bit. So if you go over here into sales and you go over to the benefits card, there's this thing called the Azurite card. So it adds 10% production. Not very much, right? The thing that it does that's really cool is it actually gives you 90 per day. So every day at reset, you'll see a little icon on your screen and you'll go into, like you're going to get your collect on your Supreme card. You're going to go in and you're going to click to collect the 90 per day. So that's in addition to the 10% that you're getting here. So if you add that up, so the 90 per day will get you 630 more Azurite per week. The 10% will give you 134. So that's 764 more Azurite per week. It's a really good deal. So when I talk about buying, the thing that you want to look at is the amount of an item that you get per dollar. So the Azurite card, gives you, like I said, 764 Azurite per week, and you get the card for $19.99 a month, so that's $5 a week. So 764 divided by 5 is 152.8 Azurite per dollar, which you'll find to be a pretty darn good deal. All right, so let's move to some of the other ways that you might want to buy. So one of the things that you'll see is you have these daily deals, and you have them a couple times a week, and these are like weekend deals. You'll get 240 here for $5, so that's about 50 per dollar. So you go from 152.8 Azurite per dollar for having the card down to, and this is a good deal actually, to 50 per dollar. You go up to the next level, 500 for 10, so that's another 50 per dollar. And then 800 for 20, so that's about 40 per dollar. So it's going down. So that's your daily. You also have a monthly. So on the monthly here, it's a little bit better. It's 500 for $7. And if we do the math, that's about a little over 70 per dollar. So that's better than the daily, right? At the level 2, you get 900 for $15. So again, it would be under 100. Then you go up, and I'm listing the totals. I'm doing the math here for you. You get a 1900 for 40. So if you divide that 1900 by 40, what do you get? And at the top level, you get 2300 for $60. All right, so you can tell that the monthly deal is much better than what you can even get at the daily. And I can tell you that both of these are pretty good compared to what you get from the regular shop. So if you go to the regular shop and you go to resources and you scroll over, you get 200 for five, 190 for $5. So you do the math there. That's about 40, under 40 per, and it's only going to get worse as you go up. So you go to the second level and you get 34, per dollar. Then you go to the next level and you get, under 30 per dollar. I mean, it's just going to get worse and worse as you actually go up, and it goes all the way up to 99. At 99, you're getting 16.5 per dollar. And it's all, again, all spending comes down to patience. So are you patient enough to get the card, right? So all of these, like Supreme card, Value card, and the Azurite card are well worth it, but people don't see it because you actually, the value is over time. So over those 30 days, the amount of gems, for example, that you get from the Supreme card, is 30. So 30,000 gems for $19.99. That's the best gems you can get. It's the same thing with the Azurite. It's the most amount of Azurite you're going to get per dollar is going to come from the card. The second thing, the second best thing to do is to get the monthly limited, right? And then the third best thing to do is get the daily limited Azurite. If you have to, if you just can't be patient. I do not recommend buying it off the regular shop in resources, nor do I really recommend getting anything from within here. The only thing that I like to buy here personally is in other. I like to get the Alliance pack so I can give out some rewards, some gifts. So I really hope that this helps you kind of plan your Azurite production, increase your production. One thing I didn't mention is the title that you get that gives you a 10% increase in your resource output. So, once you start having, if you're new in a new realm, it doesn't really matter until someone hits level 30. At level 30, once someone hits level 30, the king, the secretary should only give like the Baron title to people who are level 30 and above. A lot of people are going to complain and say, well, what about me? I need to get resources. Well, your resources that you can get from farms. Azurite can't be shared. You can't get Azurite on a farm and then give it to your main. You have to get your Azurite on your main, on the castle that you're actually trying to grow. So it is the most beneficial to someone above level 30 who has an Azurite mine, because they will increase the amount of Azurite that they can actually get. So it's always something that you're going to have to talk about when you do have some people reach that level 30. Okay, so I hope that this guide helps you, and leave a like if it does, and don't leave a thumbs down if it didn't really help you that much. The next guide, part 2, I hope does, and it's going to be the actual requirements that you need to get from level 31 to level 40. For each level, it's going to go over what you need for the castle level, for all the buildings, and it's going to go over what you need for the Mystic College. It's one of those guides that I hope you can use to plan. So now you know how to get the Azurite. Now you'll be able to plan what you'll need to get, like how long it's going to take you to get from level 31 to 32 to 33, 34, 35, and so on. All right, so I hope this helps, and take care. All right.
The highs with the lowest lows. That's like these days. World change, doggy on lockdown. Phone call 3 ways.